Over the past 19 seasons on the Pro Bowlers Tour, there have been memorable moments and outstanding personalities such as Don Carter, the first true superstar of this sport. Dick Weber was Carter's early rival on the PBA Tour and later went on to dominate his profession throughout the 60s. Earl Anthony has won more titles and career prize money than any bowler in PBA history. The new breed is 29-year-old Mark Roth, the only bowler ever to convert a 7-10 split on the Pro Bowlers Tour telecast. Live for the 20th consecutive year, ABC Sports presents the season premiere of the Pro Bowlers Tour. Today, the finals of the $125,000 Miller High Life Classic, as these top 5 bowlers compete for the $21,000 first prize. In 5th place from Burleson, Texas, the defending champion, Gary Dickinson. In 4th place from Kingsport, Tennessee, the Tennessee Twister, Steve Martin. In 3rd place from Spring Lake Heights, New Jersey, winner of 23 PBA titles, Mark Roth. In 2nd place from Buffalo, New York, one of the rising young stars on the Pro Bowlers Tour, Tom Baker. And our leader from Medford, Oregon, the flamboyant and explosive Marshall Holman.
Gary Dickinson, defending champion, knows his pair of lanes, performed excellent last year.
37-year-older. So our 1981 PBA Tour and our ABC Sports telecast is underway. And what a perfect way to start. A beautiful pocket hit and a strike. Now we go to the 5'6", 170-pound, 22-year-old Steve Martin from Kingsport, Tennessee. So our match is all even. Oh. Going for a double now in our first match. So it's a double.
They bowl 42 games over a 4-day period, and all these players are in super shape, and you have the cream of the crop, the players that are hitting the lanes the best that week. Dickinson naturally loves the Miller High Life Open, back in contention to defend his title.
Hoping to double. We are perfect. Oh, in the left lane now, it's Gary Dickinson trying for a 3-bagger in our first match. And he has attained it. And should we have a 300 in our telecast throughout 1981, $10,000. That one didn't come up. Slid right by the pocket.
You almost have to go for the 2-8 and hope you get a lucky kick out of the pit area.
So it is an open frame. There you see the right hand, the bowling hand of Gary Dickinson. So after an open frame, a beautiful comeback by Steve Martin. And it's a 4-bagger. Gary Dickinson leading by 35. Hit leaving the 6 pin. Cross lane. All right, continuing to mark with a spare in the 5th frame while his opponent had an open frame in the 3rd. We're looking at Steve Martin, but he came back on the left lane with a strike. Now hoping to double, trailing by 34.
Could cut that lead down to 24 with a double. Chris, the key, I think, is going to be the right-hand lane, lane 18. The players said they had more trouble with this lane during the week because of the grain of the wood. We'll develop that a little more after the shot.
Oh, just a tough break. Martin working on that gum. So for Martin, though, it's a spare in the 5th frame.
Chris, the left-hand lane, 17, the players like. It seems like all the boards in the playing area are very smooth, and the ball rolls very true. The right-hand lane, as we saw Steve Martin in the 3rd frame, when he went wide, he hit what we call a hard board or grainy board, and the ball hung wide, and he got a split. He tried to compensate for it in the 5th frame by slowing up, letting the ball break a little more, left the 4-pin. So it's a matter of touch on the right-hand lane and stay consistent on the left.
The man that started the tournament in 2nd place is never lower than 4th. So Mr. Consistency of this week in particular, with a strike in the 6th frame, Steve Martin, Kingsport, Tennessee. The spare up shooting now in the 6th frame, Gary Dickinson.
The advantage in a match like this goes to Dickinson when you have a spotty board or spotty part of the lane. Gil Sliker just missed the finals, finishing 6th this week, the alternate. Dickinson has the advantage in that he doesn't have to cross those boards. He goes with the boards and with the green. He should hit the right-hand lane better than any other player.
And that gleaming bowling ball nearly found the 1-3 pocket, but the 10-pin is left in the right lane. 33-pin lead, Gary Dickinson. And the pins falling, you undoubtedly hear them. The practice shots of Mark Ross. That's what Gary has done this week. 212 in 1980, 215 this week, and on the TV pair, 197 average. All right.
And you saw Dickinson with his patented two-fingered shot across those spares kill that ball and use accuracy. As the scoreboard shows, Dickinson by 33 through 6, spare working.
Our first stop in a tour of 16 cities. Next week, Las Vegas, then Alameda, California, on to Grand Prairie, Texas, to Houston, to St. Louis, back home, Bo.
Back home and out to Dick Weber lanes again.
That was a 7th frame shot, and now he's left the 10-pin on both lanes, Gary Dickinson.
Dickinson's showing his experience. He's 15 years older than Martin, and Dickinson is keeping the ball in play. Gary Dickinson very seldom ever beats himself. He has a 32-pin lead in this match. He's not trying to overpower the pins. Give himself some easy spares to shoot. Keep it in the pocket. Let Martin try to catch him. And you see just 2 fingers in the ball, thumb and middle finger for Dickinson on his spares.
And a very smooth delivery with the locked arm. Covers the 10 for a spare in the 7th. 22-year-old. Locked arm. Covers the 10 for a spare in the 7th. 22-year-old Steve Martin shooting in the 7th with a strike up. And he cuts the lead to 22 pins here in our very first match.
Smart move by Martin. He went back to where he had hit the light shot and left the 2-8-10 and just gave it more power. And by that, he just moved his wrist through the ball a little harder with a little less speed. Watch how he keeps his head down. Watch that arm swing close to his body and the wrist action to impart the tremendous revolution on the ball. Just excellent there. He ripped the rack, cutting them lead to 22 pins. And his wife looks on.
Kim looks very apprehensive. That was sort of a forced smile. But warmed up as it went along.
Martin with a strike in the 8th can cut the lead to 12 pins.
All right, in the frame of jogging and golf, Steve Martin has 3 in a row, and oh, what a match. Down to 12 pins now. Here's the leader.
You can see the difference between Steve Martin when he was 18, 19 out here. He just went with all power all the time when in a crucial situation. Those last 2 shots were finesse shots. Put the ball in the pocket, make Dickinson come after him. We now have a match, 2 frames left, only 12 pins separation.
With a spare working for him, shooting in the 8th frame, Gary Dickinson. Leaving the 4-7 on the right lane.
Dickinson just being a little apprehensive with the shot. He's trying to protect that lead, which is smart, but he just softened up on the ball and let it roll high. On a PBA tour and in all other bowling, you have to keep a consistent speed. You can't be fast with one shot, slow with the next. Dickinson is not staying consistent with his speed.
35-pin lead is down to 10 now. All right, spare in frame number 8 of our first match. And there you see only 10 pins.